on, and we're going to be going to our portfolios of evidence. All right, so that's your yellow book, and we're going to go to question 11 to question 15. So that's what we're going to be focusing on, question 11 to question 15. And so you'll see I've written them out, but obviously they are in your portfolio of evidence. So let's go to your portfolio of evidence, and you'll see there is question 11. So it says define the core and support functions in a business and the relationship between them. Give an example from your own business of a core and a support activity. All right, so you are going to put down, let's call it 4 functions. Okay, so tell me departments within your business. Okay, so let's say warehousing or quality control or finance or production. You then tell me, is it a core or is it a support function? So you know, quality control is at all parts of the process. So that would then be a support. Production, it's in the real core function of the value chain. So that would be core. So then give me an example of why you say it is a core or why you say it is a support. So quality control is done at all stages of the value chain. Okay, so that gives me an understanding that that is a support function. Then you say production. Well, production is a part of the value chain and is directly involved in the production of the good or service. That's great. That gives me a good example of why it is a core function. Okay, so that is question 11. Then question 12. Now, this looks very similar to exercise that you've just done. So all that you're going to do is you're going to take that exercise that you did and you are going to put it in there. So exactly the same way, you're going to cross out, okay? So you're going to cross out all of these different words and you're going to put down in your own business what it looks like. So take the example that you did and just transplant it into that block there in your portfolio of evidence so that we can see that you understand how your business operates and the value chain that is personalized to your business, which is great. Then let's take a look at number 13. What is the purpose and the value of the value chain concept? Now, a nice thing is it's in your notes. So let me just show you over here. I'll show you that we've just taken a look at it. Why have a value chain? Okay, so value chain, how business activities are organized and how various activities relate to each other and impact on each other. Well, that's the purpose of the value chain. What is the use or what is the value of the value chain? Well, let's get me out the way. Where in the organization's activities costs are incurred and value is created. So you can use your value chain to be able to work out where the expenses are and how to reduce expenses, how to increase efficiencies, and how to decrease cost. There's your value. Okay, so there you can fill in that question. Number 13, what is its purpose? Then what is its value? All right, number 14. Now you're going to think about your position. So where are you on the value chain according to your business? So you're going to say location and function of your work unit in the value chain. So if you're in production, you're going to be production. So what area are you in? So let's go back to that value chain that we looked at. Okay, so where are you? You're in production. Well, you'd be in the operations side. Okay, fair enough. So wherever you are, you're going to tell me where you are. So the location and the function of your work unit in the supply chain. What does your work unit that contributes to adding value? Maybe in production, you are turning raw materials into products that can be sold. Okay. If you're in the marketing department, you are going to be part of sales and marketing. But what do you do? Well, you create a customer demand that is going to make sure that your goods and services are taken to where they are needed and that you generate income for the full value chain. That's your purpose. That's how your work unit contributes to adding value. All right. Then it asks the question, what functions in the value chain do you depend on to perform and add value? What functions or purpose do they fulfill? What critical inputs do they provide for you? And give 2 examples. Now, if you're in production, you need stores. Okay, so function, stores. What input? They make sure that we have the right materials at the right time. Okay. All right, maybe it's finance. Okay, so finance, what input did they give you? Well, we need money in order to buy better materials, or we need money in order to service our machines, or maybe maintenance is the function. And what input do? They maintain our machinery. So you would tell me, what do you depend on? Okay, and what input do they give you? Over here, what functions in the value chain depend on you to perform and add value? What functions and purpose do they fulfill? What critical input or service do you provide them? Give 2 examples. Now there is a person in the value chain, or there is a department in the value chain that relies on you to do your job. So if you are in production, who needs your finished goods and services? Well, dispatch or sales and marketing. Okay, so sales and marketing depends on us getting a finished product, and the input that we give them is the finished goods and services for them to sell. Okay, maybe HR needs us to constantly give them attendance registers so that they can pay us. The function, human resources, the input that we give them, well, that is the attendance registers on a weekly basis so that they can pay the workers. So that will tell you who depends on your service. Okay. The last thing that you're going to do is something called the supply chain. Now, this is a very generic supply chain, this thing over here. I'm going to show it to you on the PowerPoint. Okay, so let's go to that one on the PowerPoint. It's another little pretty diagram. Okay, so supply chain is very much like a value chain. A value chain is normally linear, but a supply chain is normally circular. So let's take a look. Raw materials come into your supply chain. So there's your raw materials. Logistics then takes it, okay, to a supplier. Great. Your supplier then takes it to the manufacturer. Okay, so who are your suppliers? Okay, so you tell me. Manufacturers. You guys are maybe the manufacturers. You guys turn the raw materials into finished goods and services. Then through to your distributor. Your distributor then sends it to a retailer. Your retailer then sends it to your customer. And therefore, they are demanding more of your product, which means that you need more raw materials. So that's pretty much a supply chain and how it works. Now, you are going to show me your supply chain because it might be totally different. This is just a very generic supply chain, but you tell me, okay, so we build boats, or we print newspapers, or we develop vitamins and nutrients and mineral supplements. Okay, so you tell me how your business works and what your supply chain looks like. All right. So once you've drawn it out, make it very simple. Give me sketches, give me basic stick figures if you have to. And then once you've done that, I want to actually see it. So I want you to take a photo of it and then send it to the WhatsApp group. And then we can all take a look at how your business works. And especially if those people are in the same organization, make sure that your supply chains meet, because it'd be very strange if your supply chain in the one part of your organization doesn't look like the supply chain on the other side of the organization. So it's probably a good idea. So take a photo of it, send it in so that we can see what your supply chain looks like. Also, it will be able to give me an indication that you understand what the supply chain idea is all about. All right, so that's question 1 to question 15 in your portfolios of evidence. And then when you finish that, then you can stop and maybe go take a break, go and have some coffee, go and take a walk. I'd love to say go and have a cigarette, but there's a good chance that you're not allowed to buy any. All right, so then we're just going to take a little bit of a break after this. I think those 5 questions are definitely going to take you about half an hour to be able to complete. So enjoy the process. Let us know what your supply chain looks like and give me a shout if there's any problems.